Hi everyone. What I have here is a collected Hollywood juniper that I dug out of the ground about 2 years ago. Some of you may remember the video from the dig where we talked about how to get really great bonsai material for free. And this is one of the junipers that I dug out. As you can see, it's quite large and also very thick in the trunk base. And it's going to make a stunning bonsai, but it needs a whole lot of work. So let's get started here. The problem with a tree like this is it's so dense we can't really prune it first and then start wiring because I don't have enough hands to hold down all the branches to figure out what goes where. So we're going to start wiring down branches until we got a sense of what goes where. Then we'll start subtracting out branches once we get them all wired out, and we'll see what fits and what doesn't. It means we're going to have to cut some wire as well as cutting branches, but in bonsai, when you're working on something this large and this nice, you got to make a few sacrifices. So we'll start out by trying some 5mm wire on this lower branch, and if that doesn't work, then we'll go to the 6mm. And the way this is feeling, I think we're going to have to go to the 6mm for the lower branches and save the 5mm for the smaller branches farther up. And here we are. We've pruned, we've wired, done a little bit of grinding, and at 39 inches tall, this is, I think, the largest bonsai I've ever created. Probably the largest one I'm ever going to do. And it's well on its way at this point. The one thing remaining is it's been in this training pot for 2 years since being collected. Still has some of the old soil on it. So it's got to get repotted. The only question now is, can we fit this in a bonsai pot, or is it going to have to go back in this one for another season while I go find a bonsai pot that's large enough? So we're going to work on that next. Okay folks, I'm tired, I'm dirty, my hands are covered with sap, I've got sawdust all over me from grinding the apex. I'm sorry we couldn't show you every step of this job because this tree is so big and massive it took 2 people to do everything, so my camera operator was very involved in this particular session. What you can see here is a classic formal upright bonsai. Because the foliage of Hollywood juniper is a little similar to what you see on giant sequoias out in the forest, that's kind of the look that we were going for here. Unfortunately, this thing is so large and so heavy that we can't do the usual 360, so we're just going to run the camera on it and look at it nice and close for a little while and try to take in everything that's going on. One of the things that I will point out is that the branches on this were so thick, most of them required double runs of 6mm wire in order to get them to go down into the proper positions. The other thing that's going on is this was the kind of deal where we basically had to anchor the wire wherever we could in order to get enough leverage to get the branch into position. And there will definitely be some fine work and some corrections, and hopefully when we get to that phase of the development of this tree, since it's now a bit smaller and a lot lighter than it originally was, what we should be able to do is present the work on it in more detail and show you a little bit more of this amazing and wonderful tree. And hopefully in the June of 2016 it'll be on display at my club's show. I don't know if we can get full foliage development that quick, but I certainly hope that we can. Anyway, thank you for watching, folks.